Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to talk to you this afternoon about the Bach flower remedies. Okay, and when I talk about the Bach flower remedies, they are bottles of essences, okay, which were all originated from natural plants and trees, apart from one which was rock water, which came from a natural spring. Okay. Now, for me, these were life-changing. When I started working with the Bach flower remedies many years ago, I was in a place where I was struggling with anxiety and stress, and I'd spent the majority of my life feeling like there was something wrong with me, but I couldn't pinpoint what I was experiencing inside. I just thought it just was the way I was. One day, a lady tapped me on the shoulder and offered me a bottle of remedies. Now, I didn't understand why she gave them to me, but I know at the time my daughter and I were both very distressed because we had what nowadays I would understand to be separation anxiety. I didn't want to leave her feeling distressed. She didn't like being in the environment. And between us, we were just feeding off each other. And this lady offered me a single bottle of remedy, a small little bottle about that size. She tapped me on the shoulder and said, "I think this could help you and your daughter." Now, I have to be honest and say I did not know who this lady was. I don't know if I even knew what she looked like, because I was in such a distressed place at the time. I could not even give someone eye contact. But that lady and her kindness in that moment was about to change my life. Well, fast forward 2 years, and I remembered at some stage through this time I had picked this bottle up occasionally and used it. Because I remember when my daughter started using, no, she wasn't using it, correction. When I started using the remedies, my daughter started feeling more confident. She started sleeping through the night, which was the first time ever. So whenever I had a little bit of an imbalance where she wasn't sleeping or I felt distressed, I would get the bottle out of the cupboard. Didn't use it frequently. I just, every so often, I used it. But for 2 years, almost to the day when that lady offered me that bottle, I was going through a whole new story. And this time my daughter had to go to school. There was no choices. The teacher grabbed my daughter off me and said, "Go home. No wonder your daughter's a mess. Look at the state of you." Now, they may not have been the words she said, but they were the words I heard. My daughter was distressed about being in school and the noisy environment. She didn't like being away from me. And it was a whole catapult of crying at night, sleepless nights, restless mornings, crying because she had to go to school in the mornings. And it was getting on top of me. And when the teacher said that to me, all I heard was, "It was your fault. It was my fault." And I had a nervous breakdown right there and then. So to this day, I don't know how I got to the doctors, but I did. I managed to bike to the doctors or walk there and turned up at the surgery, got an appointment and started to pull my heart out. The doctor said to me, "Okay, let's up your medication." And a little voice inside me was screaming. I wanted to get away from that medication. I've been trying to wean myself off it for years, just going down gently, gently, gently. And then I'd have to put it up again because I felt stressed. And I heard him say this, and something inside my head was screaming, "No, no, no, this is not what I want. This is not the answer." It wasn't make me feel any better. It wasn't even help me to sleep through the night. But for some reason, I couldn't seem to get away from it. And now the doctor was suggesting that I needed more. So he gave me some paperwork and said, "I think you need a holiday." Well, I was in total agreement. I needed a break. I was thinking sunny Bahamas or Ibiza. Well, that day I went home and I had this familiar woozy feeling in my head where everything felt like it was moving. And somewhere in the back of my head, this little voice was still screaming and saying, "This is not the answer, Dawn. This is not the answer. There's something going on here that you need to understand. It's not about taking more medication, hiding it. What is going on inside me?" And this voice inside me, this feeling which came right up from my stomach, came, and it made me feel physically sick. It said, "No, this is not the answer." So I made myself physically sick, get rid of the medication out of my body. I remembered that somewhere this lady had offered me this bottle, and her words were ringing round in my head, saying, "This might help you." Well, that was all I needed to remember. I found the bottle. I gave that woman a ring, and that afternoon I was sitting in her front room, talking about how I felt, downloading, offloading, whatever you want to call it. My heart was pouring out. Everything that was distressing me was coming out into this woman. I don't know to this day if I even knew what her name was, but I know she was listening, and I was ready to talk. And I think the message I've taken from my own story is knowing that the time of when we offer help to when someone's ready to take it is often a void in between, and that's okay. But I would say if you at the moment are feeling in a place of disharmony, where you feel like there's something in your life needs to change, where you're feeling sadness and emptiness, or loneliness, whatever it is inside of you, I know that these remedies can help. Each of these is a different state of mind or a different emotion. They will help to heal different states of mind or different emotions. And we look at how you're feeling today. We explore which remedy bottles will help you. And then we make a small combination bottle, which you will let you take to something you take internally. It's natural. It can be taken alongside most medication. I would recommend you speak to your doctor alongside what we're doing, what we're offering. There are no side effects, but when you start taking the remedies, sometimes the emotions come up to be released, and that can feel more extreme. But this is something we will talk about in depth when we come to meet. We both work through a process of healing for you. I'll listen to you, hear what you have to say, encourage you to take action and start writing things down. Start talking about how you're feeling. And together we can work through the process of finding out how to help you recover from a situation that you feel trapped in. Always remember what Dr. Bach said. He said, when there's a void between your thinking and who you are, is when dis-ease sets in. And this feeling of dis-ease is often where the disharmony comes in, where the feeling of anger, not liking yourself, feeling guilty, feeling not in control of life. It takes time. It takes a little patience. It takes compassion for you. Understanding that you are on a healing journey, but you can work through it and you can make changes. The remedies help you to work through step by step how you're feeling. You explore what comes up. We work with letting it go with the help of the remedies and other techniques, and then we move on to the next step. Each step I will be there for you. I'll listen. I'll help give you some ideas and guidelines. We'll set you some goals to ensure that you stay on track. But it all comes down to you. Are you ready to make that change? Are you ready to step in and discover what is holding you back and what is meant to be? If you are ready, either come through Aisha's app, or contact me through www.dawncrystal.com. When you're ready, I will step up and be ready to help you. Thank you.